The news continues in Southern Africa, where the application for discharge for former legislator Job Sikhala and Mayor Lovemore Maiko has been dismissed by the Zimbabwe High Court. The court ruled that the two have a case to answer, although it admitted that there are some inconsistencies in the evidence of the state witness. Sikhala and Chikonwiza, mayor of Lovemore Maiko, on trial on charges of disorderly conduct as defined in Section 41 of Criminal Code. Now, the two were in April 2023 charged with disorderly conduct in a public place, accused of disrupting a ZANU-PF political party campaign rally held on the 2nd of May 2022 by throwing stones at some ruling party supporters, a charge which they deny. Now, joining me on the news to discuss this issue is Job Sikhala lawyer. That's Jeremiah Bamu. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. This is another big blow for your client. For the benefit of our viewers, can you take us through how the courts came to this particular decision and what impact it will have on Job and Lovemore?
I'll start with the impact that it will have on them. They will continue with their trial on 26 October 2022. We gave notice to the court yesterday that we were proceeding to file an application for review in the High Court against the decision of the Magistrates Court. We do not believe that the decision rendered yesterday is just in the circumstances. It does not tally with the evidence that was presented by the state, and it does not tally with what the law says on the issues that were at hand. The best that we can do, and the best that both Job Sikhala and Lovemore Maiko are hoping for, is that the law will eventually take its course, and they will continue fighting for justice to take its course.
Now, do you think that the denial of discharge is politically motivated, considering his role as, of course, as an opposition legislature? Now, if so, how does this affect the expectation of impartiality and fairness of justice system in Zimbabwe?
The charges are politically motivated. That has always been the position that the two have held. It is basically a way by the police to protect ZANU-PF from contestation because charges emanate from political campaigns, and the desire, or at least as Lovemore Maiko put it, was to prevent him from campaigning to become a councillor in Chitungwiza, where eventually he became the mayor of that particular town in Zimbabwe.
Now let's
look at the...
Continue, please.
Sorry. All right. So I was saying, when you look at the substance of the charge themselves, and particularly what transpired in the trial, witnesses came in to give conflicting evidence. The police officers, who should ordinarily be neutral, told the court that neither Lovemore Maiko nor Job Sikhala behaved in any disorderly manner at all, and they were a distance of more than 500 meters away from where ZANU-PF rally was being held, and yet it is alleged that they threw stones at ZANU-PF people. The simple question would be, how can you throw stones at a distance in excess of 500 meters? But in any event, the police said their truck was blocking, or rather was 500 meters away from the ZANU-PF rally, and the vehicle that they allege Job Sikhala and Lovemore Maiko was in was driving along a public road that would not have gone beyond 500 meters from where the rally was. The road was coming to a fork end where it would either proceed left or right, and would not have in any event gotten to where the political rally was being held from. So what we only have is a situation where the police tried to preempt a situation that would have never arisen at all. The vehicle, if it was there, would have...
All right, now, Okay, quickly, before, of course, we're pressed with time, I would like to ask you these two questions, of course, concurrently. Now, the first being, what specific arguments have the prosecution used to oppose the application? And do you believe these arguments hold merit, or do they seem to be part of a broader campaign to silence political opposition? Now, that's one. The other being, how does the repeated denial contribute to a broader pattern of human rights abuses in Zimbabwe?
First, the argument by the state is that they managed to prove a prima facie case, which is a case at face value. But that cannot be because their evidence was conflicting. People gave various testimonies. So the simple question that we then asked in return was, if they were going to defend themselves, which evidence are they going to be responding to, because the evidence is so conflicting? And then coming to your last question on its impact on the broader human rights aspect, it is just a manifestation of continued persecution through the avenue of prosecution. Because when you look at Job Sikhala, for example, he has at least 4 other matters that are pending against him. When you look at the nature of the allegations, they are all frivolous. And then when you also consider that only opposition activists are, especially when it comes to election times, charges like this are thrown at them left, right, and center. It's more or less a way to keep them occupied in the courts than for them to remain campaigning for political space.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Jeremiah Bamu, lawyer to Job Sikhala.
Thank you so much.